Good day, viewers. You're welcome to our YouTube channel once again. My name is Ben Olabanji of Forbes Global, and our office is located in Lagos. We want to discuss one very important topic with you today, and this has to do with the guidelines to getting building approval in Lagos State. Lagos State particularly. Of course, it applies to everywhere in Nigeria, but you know, every state has its own peculiarity with how things are done. Some of their regulations are really very important to follow. Else, if you try to apply what is obtainable in Kwara or Abuja or in Enugu State to what applies in Lagos, it may not, or to a large extent, it won't even fit. So we want to quickly trade with you the topics that has to do with building approval. Moreover, before we go ahead, if you like this video, at the end of the video you see the subscribe button. Just click on the subscribe button and click. And also, you are free to share your comments. If you have questions, you drop it. So I want to treat this topic. We are delving into the topic of getting a building approval. And getting your plan approved in Lagos. We have guidelines to that. And I know you would love to listen to this. Of course, you know, if you have a landed property and you want to build on it, some of the things that you are required to do apart from doing soil testing and the likes is you have to get a proper approval. Else, once you build or you start building, either you are interrupted, or even if it eventually builds completely and at the end of the day government comes around, it can be demolished. So you don't want to make that mistake of not getting the building plan approval before you start building. So let's go ahead and listen to this. I'll be picking out some of the bullet points and then talk about it, because this video will be very interesting and educating to you. So if you want to listen, the first you need to do is to get an architectural drawing. Get an architectural drawing and a building plan. Very, very key. If you want to apply for a building plan approval with the Lagos State government. Don't forget, Lagos State is a case study here. So if you want to get such approval, you need to first get an architectural drawing and building plan. Get it drawn. What you want to do is you want to contact a professional and experienced architect that knows about the peculiarity in Lagos State with the different building approval processes and the likes. You get in touch with such a person, tell him your idea of what you want to build, he will advise you or whatever you need to do, but you have your overall idea of what you want to do. So get him to do what you want, he will only guide you. And then once it is done, mind you, like I told you, let it be someone who is vast and a practicing architect, not an architect that is not practicing. A practicing architect had experience over time about what has happened, what mistakes some people have made in Lagos, and can guide you rightly. And once you have such a building approval, make sure, once you have such building drawing rather, make sure that the charting are well done. That's, we are talking about the drawing. Make sure that the lines are legible enough to be seen and the scaling is right. The scaling must be right. And then once it is done, good, you move to the next step. And the next step has to do with you getting to the Lagos State Office of the Physical Planning and Urban Development and get a demand notice. The Lagos State Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development has departments, different units under it. You go to the particular department that goes with approval of building and then get a demand notice. That demand notice is what gives you the go ahead to go and make your payment. So you get a demand notice and then you go ahead and you make sure that you make your payment, and then you are also going there with your proper documents, the survey plan that the architect, the building plan that the architect had earlier drawn for you, and then every other thing like the what do we call it? Well, it also depends on the kind of building you want to build, you want to come up with. So what will be required to pay will depend on what you are building. If you are building a bungalow, for instance, or a one-story building, The amount you are paying with the demand notice is different from what you will be paying for someone who is going to 2-story building, 5-story building. And it also depends. Is it a commercial or residential building? So once you get your demand notice, you have a form to fill. You have to tick everything that is necessary as it applies to you, and then you send the proper documents to them. Once you send the proper documents and then it is properly submitted, you make your payments. The next thing is, after making payment, you don't have to wait. You have to follow through. You have to go to that department. You have the revenue office also. Go and confirm that the payment has actually been received. Of course, the officer there will log on to the Lagos State government to confirm your payments, and then your submission also goes along with it. Very, very important. Very important. And once the payment has been confirmed, mind you, you are a Lagos State citizen or a resident, for instance. Some documents will be required from you, and this includes your tax papers. If you don't have your tax paper, you better tidy it up before you approve. Else, your submission or your application will be very slow. But once you have your tax papers up to date, you have every other resident permit and other stuff up to date. Of course, your approval, for instance, for a bungalow or a 1-story building takes an average of 6 weeks for the approval. But if you are going to 2-story building, 3-story building, that one will take a longer time. Whether it's a commercial or a family apartment building that has several floors. Now, one other thing you need to also consider is once you've submitted and your approval is in process, the authority, that's the Lagos State Physical Planning Authority and Urban Development, will commission certain experts to go and do an assessment, proper assessment and verification of all the papers you've submitted claiming the land is yours, the drawings you've also submitted. Now, this set of people will actually visit your site where you want to build. A structural engineer will be there. Probably the person is there to take the soil test, looking at your building design, to look at what structure, what are the quantity that is being quoted, that's called something bill of quantity, based on materials to be used. So the structural engineer wants to be sure of all those things you've actually outlined to be used. Then the location. Likewise, the charting officer will also go there, who is more or less like a surveyor. He wants to chart that location to really be sure it is the exact location you submitted in your coordinates that you claim to be your land. That is what they can see on site. They will check out also for the beacon numbers. Can you see? Professionals, likewise, they have also an architect in-house that will also be there to verify your design, whether it is what is obtainable. For instance, there is required a minimum of 6 meters between your fence and your building. Is that in line with what you've done, that your architect has actually done with you? Some of those things. Okay, for instance, a room should be well ventilated. In your design, which your architect had submitted, is it well ventilated? Is the minimum room size as required is 3 by 3.6? Is it what you've actually done there? So these are some of those things. So these people, which is the third step, will come to your site. So you need to be on ground so that you ensure they don't visit the wrong site. You need to be on ground, they visit it, you make sure you guide them. This is my site. They ask you questions. You are able to provide the answers. And once that is done, of course, they take it back and write their reports. Yes, each of them writes and submits their reports to their ogas. That's we're talking about the director, who will eventually approve. And once that is done, good. It goes to the next step. After you submitted all the documents, after the assessments, of course, your building plan approval is almost ready. All you just need to do is just to follow up. Well, In Lagos and in Nigeria, we know there are some government bureaucracy that could delay certain things. If you know your way, you can fast track. You can fast track in terms of, some people call it PR, but you don't really even have to pay anyone for anything. But of course, to ease this, you can fast track, then just go ahead. Once you get a bidding plan approval, you can start your work. Like I said earlier, if you don't get a proper bidding plan approval, it will cost you more than you have envisaged. For instance, your project manager will tell you a 5-bedroom duplex with maybe 2 BQs or a kind of 1-bedroom will take you 3 months to deliver. And then you started without a bidding plan approval. That project can stand there once the government comes and then disrupt your construction. It can stand there for the next 1 year because number one, you started building without getting a proper approval. So you are already against the rules of the states. And then you have to pay heavy fines. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you get your approval and then before you continue your building. If you have gotten all that intact, your building will come as planned, with the project as outlined, with the timeline, and of course it will be delivered to you, and you and your family live in your home happily and ever after. So here we stop the enlightening video for today. We would like to know if you like this video. Is a short one. We'll be doing more of our enlightening video. So if you like this, just like it and click on the like, share your comments, and then at the end also please subscribe to our channel. I remain Ben Olabanji, your property consultant, and well, if you need people, professional, we have professionals in our team for building plan approval. We have architects and engineers. If you wish to consult us, our office is at the Kota Shopping Complex. You can always reach out to us. Our phone numbers are also on our channel. Just reach out to us. I'll be glad to help you out with getting your home properly built and delivered for you to live happily and ever after. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you, and bye.